Welcome back, Murfreesboro, to another 10-minute movement section. Today we're going to do a 10-minute standing movement. So it's not quite cardio, but we are going to be standing and moving. So we're going to go ahead and start. Easy, nice little walk in place. Now this has no equipment necessary or needed, but if you can do this and make it a little bit harder if you want to by adding some light little hand weights if you like. 1 to 2 pounds, maybe 3, if that's what you want. But right now, we're just gonna march in place. Pretty easy, low impact, keeping our knees low. You have the option too, if you wanna make this a little bit harder, lift your knees up a little bit higher. It's pretty much all you have to do to make it a little bit more difficult, to use a little bit more energy. You can also pump your arms. Again, the more body parts you move, the more muscles you're going to use, the higher that heart rate's going to go, and the more work your body's going to do. So you do you, whatever you need and whatever you're comfortable with. We're going to take a nice little side step. Easy. You can do this without moving your hands. Little tap and tap. Side to side. Nothing big. You can make it harder by going a little bit wider. You can make it harder by bringing your hands in, swinging your hands. You don't have to swing them like this, whatever feels good for you. But we're trying to keep everything fairly low impact, fairly easy. Say if you're warming up or just getting some good movement. This is this series for you. This is a good one to do after you've just eaten. 10 minutes of movement helps with your digestion and that blood sugar. And this is pretty easy. You're not committing a lot. You're not really getting really sweaty. We're going to come from here and do a little heel tap forward. Just a little tap. Again, you can stay here and just tap. If you want to, you can add some arms. Again, this would be a good time if you wanted a few little weights, maybe to hold them lightly in your hands. That'll give you a little bit more work in your arms, but you don't have to. Whatever works for you. You can swing your arms or you can squeeze them. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can kind of bend your knees a little bit more. So you have options to do to make it harder, to make it easier, just to change things up. Gently moving. Good posture, either way, nice and tall. All right, and we're gonna lift your heels. Now you can stand here and just do this, a little robotic, but that's fine if that's what you wanna do. You can take a wider stance and kind of go side to side, squeezing those hamstrings, stretching those quads. If you want to make it a little bit harder there, you can add some arms. Push your arms back. Nice little back of the arm work, especially if you have some weights. You can keep your arms down here, or you can pull them up. And remember, you can still keep everything down low if this is too much for you. Good posture. Nice and tall. We're going to go from here, little kick. And you can really just kind of gently fling that foot out if you want. Just lift your knees and kick out. Nothing hard. You can, if you want to make it a little bit harder, lift it up. All right? Put a little snap to it if you want. Or you can, or you can add some arms. So you can make it, it's a simple workout, but there are ways that you can make it a little bit harder, a little bit more interesting to your body and brain if you want. Kick it out. But again, you can stay down here too. Perfectly fine. Just depends on your energy level. Depends on what you want out of it. All right, now we're just going to lift the knees. A little bit higher, try to stay tall. Okay, we're not doing any of that stuff. Not necessarily good for your back. So good and tall, use your core, stand up nice and straight. You lift your knees as high as you want, okay? If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can pull your arms. You can also go faster. I'm trying to keep it to a level where I'm not gasping into the microphone. But you do you. Not everybody's doing this connected to audio equipment. Knees up. But again, you don't have to use the arms. If you want to stay low, you can do that. You have your options. Good. We're going to do a tap and a tap. And you can stay here, but we're pretty well set now. Let's add a little bit more to it. We're 4 minutes in. Might as well make the last few minutes a little bit higher intensity, but you don't have to. You can stay here and tap. Reach. Feel a nice stretch along your torso. Keep that core engaged. You can go a little bit slower if you want to. I don't want to, so I'm going to stay at this tempo. Reach. Make sure you're not swaying and doing weird things with your back, okay? Keep it nice and straight. All right, now we're going to take that step and step back. So same type of movement. I'm just tapping back. Tapping back. Nothing fancy. We can make it fancy if you want. Swing around. Add a little rotation through that torso. And a little core work. Swing. Now you can swing, or you can push. Or you can alternate through them. Swing some, push some. All right. Again, if you have a light hand weights, good workout for the arms, push. And you can also just stay here and not use your hands at all. All right. 2 more exercises. We've got knee to elbow. Now you can be here. Okay, nice and gentle, not a lot of effort. Well, I mean, effort it might be. If it's a lot of effort for you, that's great. You want to make it a little bit harder, lift your hands up. So now we've got this little gentle curl in our spine. It's not a lot. It's a little twist and curl. It's not this. Okay, that's just going to hurt your back. So up and over. If you hear popping and snapping or anything like that, decrease your range of motion. Good posture. Sometimes this twisting doesn't feel good for the neck or the spine. So if it doesn't feel good for you or if it doesn't sound good, don't do it. Kick the leg up and up. All right, and we're going to add an arm. Getting that inner thigh, getting the arms, your last exercise. We've already gone through 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Quick, easy, to the point. You really don't have an excuse. It's just 10 minutes. In and out. Good posture. Again, you don't have to use the arms if that's too much. Or you can use the arms. You can keep it a little bit lower if that's what you need to do. It's all you. But we're almost done, and you finished a good 10 minutes of movement. And that's it. 10 minutes and we're done. Hardly broke a sweat. Thanks for coming. Join again.